what is the importance of bioavailability in protein?
Yeah.
If there is, if you're
there is. Oh, absolutely. And I think there's what do we call the protein digestibility corrective amino acid score.
Yeah, PDCAA. I think it was.
Like that. So bottom line is, it's one thing to have a great amino acid, have all the amino acids, but if it takes a long time to digest them, you're just not going to get the same value. So like whey protein is got the highest biological value, the highest scoring, all that of any, because you do want it, you want to be able to get it in before you lose it. Plant proteins, the problem with them, they're bound up. They'll hang in the gut, and you might lose a lot of the amino acids before your body can absorb a significant number of them, because they bind it up, and they don't have the high amount of leucine, or they don't have the high amount of the branch chain, or even the essential amino acids. Very low. Soy is the only one that might have a good score, but it's still not as digestible as like a whey or an animal protein. Animal proteins are always the most bioavailable, pretty much. You can make a plant protein better, breaking it up, putting it in peptides. There's ways of making it easier, and then you can fortify it with other amino acids to make it as good. But that's all bioavailability is that. Now again, the bioavailability of a food, you got to break it all down. It takes all that long, like 3 or 4 hours, like I just mentioned. Now the bioavailability is going to be greater in a protein powder because you've already done that. In a laboratory, we already broke it down. Now you're just taking it in a powder form, and easily it's much more bioavailable than it will be from food. And then same thing with free-form amino acids. And free-form is the most bioavailable. Yeah. As soon as it goes in, it's going right into your body, pretty much. Amino acids.
For muscle building or hypertrophy reasons, is there a specific type of protein that is superior, which is, I'm pointing at whey here. Is that the superior protein
for sure.
when it comes to building? Even though you could probably do it with everything, right? But if you're really to minimize and maximize things, are you looking at whey as your like go-to muscle building protein?
No one disputes that. I think it is. There's been enough studies. They compare it against soys. They compare it against casein. And compare it against other complete proteins. And it'll always come out a little bit better. But you're splitting hairs. You know what I mean? At that point,
splitting hairs.
Yeah, that's pretty much splitting hairs. You're going to get more bang for the buck because the essential amino acid count per gram of protein is higher in whey than any other protein on the planet. So you can't argue that. But that's the idea of taking essential amino acids with it. Now you've got even higher amount of essential amino acids per gram of protein. Yeah, way higher leucine that way.
Right.
Because leucine by itself, that one single amino acid by itself has the most important role in protein synthesis and turning on the muscle building machinery. Yeah. That's the first soldier into what we call mTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin, which is the sensor in all our muscle cells that tells it what to do. Build, shrink, and tells it what to do. And leucine is the trigger that says build.
Right. And then is there a leucine threshold?
Yeah. It's a leucine threshold, and everybody thinks it's around 3 grams. In other words, every one of your meals, this is important for everybody, every one of your meals, protein meals, should have at least 3 grams of leucine. If you're eating 1 gram per pound and you're splitting it up with complete proteins, you're going to have at least 3 grams of leucine in every meal. We know that
through chicken, steak,
fish, if you're going to have over 30 or 40 grams, you're going to hit that threshold. Okay. I can't imagine that you can't get. I'm sure 40 grams of chicken will get you there. Whey, you just need less. 25 grams will probably get you there.
Yeah.
To get that, but you want 3 grams a meal. Spread it out through every one of your meals. That's the trigger.
Okay.
That's minimum.